Ever looked at a renovation or watched a renovation show on television and thought, well, there goes all the charm? But have you ever stopped to think about where does all that character actually go? Well, architectural salvage stores are the answer. They're like antique shops, but with focus on house and building parts. Doors, hardware, ornate trim, even furniture and historic decorative pieces. They don't quite fit the thrift store mold since they skip the modern clutter, and they're not just antique stores either. When buildings are slated for demolition or major renovations, salvage stores step in to rescue the craftsmanship, whether it's stained glass windows from an old church, solid oak desks from a bank, or intricate woodwork from a grand estate. Sometimes they strike deals to reclaim everything being pulled from a renovation project before it's lost forever. These places truly are treasure troves of salvaged history. No matter your style, Victorian, arts and crafts, Art Deco, or even mid-century modern, adding a few well-chosen vintage elements can instantly elevate a space, injecting history, character, and a craftsmanship that modern mass-produced pieces just can't replicate. The richness of old wood, the weight of solid metals, and the intricate details and historic design bring a timeless charm to any home. These pieces weren't just built to last, they often outperform their contemporary counterparts in quality, durability, and beauty. Take, for instance, a century-old window made from old-growth wood, still holding on to its original wavy glass. It's not just a feature, it's living proof of expert craftsmanship that has stood the test of time. A weathered antique door can transform a basic garden shed into something straight out of a storybook. Or swapping out knobs and hardware in a tired old dresser can give it a second life, looking like it belongs in a high-end design magazine. And then there's the thrill of the hunt, tracking down period-correct fixtures, discovering the perfect statement piece, stumbling upon treasures that feel like fate. We love finding just the right bit of history and discovering something you never knew you needed until it's right in front of you. Anyone who's ever lived in an old house knows that finding relics tied to its past is one of the most rewarding parts of restoration. An old letter hidden in the walls, coins buried in the garden, architectural features concealed under layers of drywall or paint. All of these discoveries connect us to the history in a way that feels almost magical. And sometimes, that same sense of discovery happens in a salvage shop. When you spot the perfect door, light fixture, or decorative element that fits your home story like it was always meant to be there. Right here in our hometown of Pasadena, California, we have Pasadena Architectural Salvage. A true architectural salvage shop in every sense. Unlike many places that blend salvage with antique decor and furniture, Pasadena Architectural Salvage stays laser-focused on house parts. Nearly everything here once had a home, whether it's doors, windows, corbels, vintage lighting, or classic plumbing fixtures. Walking through the shop, you'll find meticulously organized displays of door handles, cabinet knobs, hinges, each carrying a little bit of history. The bathroom fixture section is a time capsule of design, showcasing beautifully preserved sinks, tubs, and toilets, many in vibrant mid-20th century colors you just don't see anymore. And then there's a library, a gem in its own right. It's not just a nod to history, it's a functional archive lined with original catalogs and sales literature from the 1800s through the mid-20th century, with a vintage library table and chairs serving as an incredible resource for researching period-accurate faucets, door hardware, and discussions, and anything else you might think of. On a previous visit, we uncovered a fantastic find, a cabinet door latch and key that fit perfectly and matches the Eastlake hardware on a double-hung window in our downstairs bathroom. That kind of discovery is exactly why places like this are pure gold for old house lovers. Columbus, Ohio is a 2-hour drive from Wheeling, and the trip is always worth it. Oh yeah, they said, by the way, they said, whatever you do, don't let the cat go back in that other.
Well,
The store is huge and has many rooms, an outdoor area, and is really well organized. Columbus Architectural Salvage does a great job of posting their inventory online, which is really nice, since like all salvage stores, inventory is always turning over. While browsing online is great, it still can't beat an in-person visit to a place like this. Visiting the store is like going to a gigantic estate sale, where an old house and all of the contents can be found. We have found that there are always a big selection of fireplace parts, mantels, fenders, summer covers, and newel posts, just to name a few. There are also things like furniture and vintage decor that contribute to the overall sense of history and timelessness. We found this beautiful tongue and groove beadboard style wainscot that we used in the bathroom. And we found these bricks. These bricks are historic salt glazed sidewalk pavers that will look great in the garden.
yeah, we just went ahead and grabbed them all. I looked these up. I read about them.
Oh yeah, people are still finding them all over Columbus in their yards and everything, so it's kind of cool.
And we found and restored this unique medicine cabinet with lights. It was just the right thing to replace the old medicine cabinet with its two flanking fluorescent lights. Eric's Architectural Salvage in downtown Los Angeles is a true hidden gem, specializing in pieces salvaged from some of the most iconic historic mansions across LA. Think Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Bel Air. Walking through the store feels like stepping into a museum of forgotten grandeur, where half the main floor is packed with premium finds, massive doorways, elegant statues, grand chandeliers, and relics rescued from legendary hotels and department stores. There's even a dedicated section showcasing items once owned by famous artists, singers, musicians, and movie stars, adding a touch of old Hollywood mystique to the mix. The other half of the main floor is a dream for tile lovers, devoted entirely to vintage and antique tiles, each one carrying a piece of history. And speaking of tiles, Eric's Architectural Salvage plays a crucial role in Save the Tiles, a preservation group in Altadena, California. Their mission? Rescuing, storing, and ultimately returning historic tiles from homes lost to wildfires, often the only remaining fragments of these vanished structures. If you're interested in learning more about this incredible effort, please check out the link above. And then there's the basement, a true treasure hunt. Here, salvaged hardware, vintage lighting, unique fixtures, and even art pieces fill the space, waiting to be rediscovered. Items here are more scattered, often in need of a good cleaning, and many haven't been priced yet. But for those willing to dig, the basement can lead to some incredible finds. Just like when we uncovered something we'd been searching for over a year, the towel racks that attach to the sides of our 1930s bathroom sink. Construction Junction in Pittsburgh is a treasure trove of reclaimed materials, blending architectural salvage, building material surplus, and just a hint of thrift store charm. As a nonprofit, the store specializes in giving donated construction materials a second life, making it a fantastic resource for anyone tackling restoration or renovation projects on a budget. The friendly staff and great prices make every visit worthwhile, whether you're hunting for vintage fixtures or just looking to stock up on essentials. On our last trip, we found this built-in cabinet that turned out to be the perfect fit for our dining room. And if you're looking for an easy, affordable refresh, their selection of recycled paint in classic colors is a brilliant way to breathe new life into furniture and decorative pieces. We haven't seen a cat on any of our trips to Construction Junction, so we're asking you, dear viewer, please go to Construction Junction and report back in the comments. And better yet, send us a picture if you find a cat there. Sibs and Sibs Annex in Wheeling are kind of our secret spots. You know what we mean. Places you almost don't want to talk about. Because once the secret gets out, everybody's going to want to be hunting for treasures there. Sibs is a perfect blend of antique shop, architectural salvage, and a consignment store, packed with finds that range from the elegant to unexpected. Sibs has a strong connection with the rich history of the local communities of Ohio Valley, Northern West Virginia Panhandle. The original Sibs sprawls across 3 floors, stocked with antiques and vintage hardware, while the annex is overflowing with incredible furniture and collectibles. On a previous trip, we scored a beautiful leaded glass door that almost fit perfectly in our bathroom cabinet. We found light shades for vintage fixtures, a box of old lights, and perhaps the most shocking deal, a Dyson vacuum cleaner for just $20. All it needed was a little detective work to extract a plastic floss thingy, and voila, it works like a charm. Oh, and there's an extra tip for treasure hunters. Everything in the basement at Sibs is discounted, so if you're up for a little digging, there are even more deals waiting to be uncovered. After visiting countless salvage shops, we've picked up a few tricks for navigating these treasure troves. If you've been following Chaplain House, you know that our design philosophy revolves around creating a narrative, a guiding story that shapes every space inside and out. That narrative helps answer key design questions like which elements truly belong in this house and how to preserve the character while making it functional. We like to say that through its narrative, the house tells us what it wants. Know what you're looking for, down to the details. Salvage shopping isn't a place for guesswork, and if you're hunting for the house parts or large unique items, go in with a clear idea of exactly what you need, including measurements, dimensions, colors, and materials. Consider flexibility. Will it work if it's a little too big or a little too small? Does the wood type or the metal finish matter? And don't forget installation logistics. Some salvage pieces require specific products, tools, or skills to make them work, so factor those into your plan. Precision matters for period-correct pieces. Some salvage finds are interchangeable. You can snag corbels for a bookshelf without much worry. But for more precise restorations, like replacing one of 16 identical porch corbels, having measurements and reference photos is crucial. The same goes for missing pieces like spindles, handrails, or specialty light shades. These aren't easy swaps, so finding the right match is everything. Salvaged pieces aren't just for restoring old homes. They're secret weapons of affordable, high-impact decorating. Vintage finds bring depth, history, and craftsmanship that mass-produced decor simply can't match. Even small salvaged elements can completely transform a space. We've repurposed cast iron tub feet as bookends, turning an unexpected relic into a charming statement piece. No matter your design style, whether it leans towards cottage core, shabby chic, or dark academia, just a touch of salvage can make all the difference. A well-placed antique corbel, a reclaimed stained glass panel, or an ornate brass fixture can add warmth, authenticity, and a sense of history to your space without breaking the bank. And let's talk about lighting, because salvaged lamps and fixtures are one of the best kept secrets of salvage shopping. While they may need a little wiring help from a licensed electrician, you can find truly stunning, high-quality vintage lights crafted with materials and artistry that are hard to come by today. Even better, they often cost about the same as a new quality fixture, meaning you get history, craftsmanship, and character for the same price as something mass-produced. And the best part? Salvage shopping is a treasure hunt, meaning every piece you bring home has its own unique backstory. And that's what makes decorating with salvage feel so personal and rewarding. Restoring an old house isn't just about fixing things. It's about uncovering history, hunting for treasures, and making sure craftsmanship from the past survives. In this video, we've shared just a few of our favorite architectural salvage stores, but there are plenty of more out there, each with its own unique finds and character. If you have a go-to salvage spot or a hidden gem we should check out, let us know in the comments. And if you'd be interested in a follow-up video featuring more incredible salvage stores, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, let us know if they have a cat. They usually have a cat.